Now, once you get to the free agency day, which is here, you will actually be able to do trade negotiations. Now, this year we've redone all our trade AI, so we have much more information for you to peruse while you go through the game. There's obviously the trade player screen, which we saw due to the draft game, which I explained to you. There's the trading block, but this is actually is your trading block and what you can see and change. So you can still do the same thing you could do in the other screen, where you can move up and down and change what you want in terms of what your interest is. You can change now. You don't want to give up prime age players, but you're willing to give up goalies. If you drafted 4 extra goalies in the draft, that might be something you're willing to give up. So we'll back out. And then there's the trade rumor screen. This is a new screen. It actually helps you know who is, what teams are interested in shopping around players. Now, as you're in the screen, if you press, as you can see, it says View Trading Block. If you press the button, you can actually see everyone's trading block, and you will actually see players at the top of the trading block. Sometimes it'll be 1 guy, it'll be 2 or 3, depending on what periods of the season it is. Usually the trading block gets more full as the trading deadline is coming along, and also depending on if the team is a rebuilder versus a championship contender. And that will let you know what they're interested in, as well as what they're willing to give up. And again, if it's red, your pro scout isn't really sure if that's what it is for that category. If it's green, he's pretty sure, and if it's yellow, he's got a fairly accurate representation of what he thinks the teams are looking for in making a deal. As you can see, Chicago it hasn't put up a player, but Colorado, who is more of a rebuilder in the game, the relationship is pretty good, and it says, those are the 2 guys they're trying to move, and that they're interested in goalies. They seem to have a surplus right now in goalies, but probably not the kind of goalie they want. And they really want all draft picks, so they're looking for these kind of things. So as you can see, each team is different. Every player has a trade value as well. So you can see, Mark Fistrick, who's very young for the Dallas Stars, he has a pretty good trade value, and they're willing to give up centers and goalies. So you can see each team in this screen. Now, when you back out, you're going back to the trade rumor screen, and it shows you all the different teams. So you can click on anything. On any team you want, and you'll be taken to their screen to see what they're interested in giving up. Now, also, there's upcoming deals. As you get a pro scout that is higher in level, you're going to start seeing upcoming deals that he's heard about. So he might be aware of something in the league that's coming down. That'll also let you react to things during the trade deadline or getting closer to the trade deadline. If you see one of your rivals in the league make a big deal that's going to improve them quite a bit, well, then you want to maybe react to that, and this will give you that option to look and see what's coming up. And this is even offers that might be coming our way, because that's what the pro scout is doing for you. He's evaluating what's happening around the league and giving you a heads up on things. And on the trade player screen, again, if you go up, you can see all the trade values, which is just basically an amalgamation of the numbers on the top of the graph, showing you that's what their value is. And as you go down, you can see like some of the minor leaguers are a little less value. Or in this case, Sean O'Donnell's a good defenseman. The value is lower because he's a little older, but as you can see, his defense is still pretty good, and he would actually add to a team if you're just looking to add a defenseman that can play some defense and not interested in an offensive defenseman. So sometimes it's more about what you're looking for and less about like the overall value of a player. That also brings out, with the graph, it also brings that certain players are very good defensively, not so good offensively. So it depends what you're looking for in the deals. And the CPU is using all this information to their advantage as well. If they have a great offensive team, they'll be looking to add a couple of defenders or a couple of good defensive players to kind of balance itself out. So now, to take you to the brand new section of the game, it's our GM tracker. And in this screen, this is where everything you do in Be a GM mode is tracked. From, we'll go through each of the sections, but like the franchise makeup, this screen alone is everything you want to know about your franchise. It's your organizational makeup. Tells you all your forwards, all your defensemen, and all your goalies, what styles they play and what type of defenseman they are. So as you can see, my team only has one offensive defenseman, and they have one tough guy defenseman. But they have 10 defensive defensemen. So that gives you a clue that maybe as a franchise, I might want to add another offensive defenseman, whether it's a prospect or a veteran, to help spark the offense from my back end. The forwards, I have two tough guys, three power forwards, and you can see as you go along that I have a varied group of forwards on the team. So maybe I want to add a couple more grinders with some speed or so on and so forth. Now, it does separate it into the NHL roster as well as the AHL roster. Your top offensive players, it kind of gives you a list of who's your top offensive guys. Gives you a clue who you might want to keep if you're just trying to get more offensive players, in case you don't know everybody on the team. Defensive players, the list could be the same. There's some players that are on both, Ryan Smith and Ryan Smith for forwards. Obviously a good all-around player. And then Jarrett Stoll is a good defensive player that isn't, or is on your offensive as well. But you can see that there's some differences. Frolov isn't on your defensive makeup. And the defensemen are definitely different, with Drew Doughty being on one list but not on the defensive list right now. And then your top athletic players. And these are the players that you've added recently to your franchise. This will change as the season progresses, whether you sign a free agent, a trade, draft. It kind of explains all that stuff for you. So the GM tasks is another area of the game that we've added. And this is basically your way of getting task points, which eventually get you to becoming a legend GM. Every task in the game, some of them are really small. Play one game. That's just take the controller, play one game with your team. You'll get 3 points for that. Win one game this season. It's 10 points. And as you go along, each of the different items can be won depending on what you do. So if you win 25 games on home ice there, it says you get 20 points. Now, as you also do them, you'll notice there's a big thing that says there are 10 hidden tasks. As you win one, it might unlock other tasks for you to do. And this allows you to keep progressing through the mode as you go along. So we made one trade offer during the season, so we can make another one. Make a 1-for-1 trade, tells you all these different ones. Complete one trade via the trading block, which is going on the trading block, selecting a player from the trading block for one of the teams, and then making a deal from that trading block for another team. Free agency, again,